Hi, everyone. This is Tina Heisman, Certified Master Life Coach. Thank you for joining me for my live marriage coaching call. Welcome. Thank you for being here today. Before we get started, I want to let you know that I have a free private Happy Wives community on Facebook where you can come to get inspiration for your marriage. And I want you to know that it is a happy, positive place and it's a safe place. And so that's really important to me. And if you are interested in that, head on over to facebook.com/groups/the Happy Wives Community. If you can't remember that, then just head on over to my website, tinaheisman.com, and you'll find a banner at the bottom of the front page. Finally, I want you to know that I have a free download on my website called a Marriage Makeover Guide. It's a guide to help you make over your marriage into a happier, more joyful, and peaceful place, one step at a time. So visit my website, tinaheisman.com, to download it. Okay, now that we've got the business out of the way, let's dive in. The topic for today's call is how to make your marriage happier. And those of you who know me can probably guess what I'm going to say and where I'm going to start with this. And that is that we are all responsible for creating our own happiness. And when we do that, we invite so much more happiness into our marriage. I've been here, I've walked this journey, and learned so much from it. That's why I want to share it with you. So here's a mistake that some of us make. The Bible says, and two become one, right, when we take our vows. And so some of us might take that a little bit more literally than others. And some of us who perhaps maybe their parents got divorced and they saw a couple drift apart, they saw the need for more unity in a marriage, and they thought that's what would help keep a marriage strong. But in reality, that's not exactly what we're intended to do. We're two married people. We're two independent people, right? We had our own lives before we came together. Now we come together, and we are to love each other and be the best version of ourselves, right? We can lean on each other, right? And we should be friends, really good friends. But the other person is not responsible for our happiness. I know I made this mistake, and I know many other wives who have made this mistake, allowing their spouse to dictate the happiness in their marriage. Girls, you've probably heard this before, but no human being is strong enough for that. Only God is strong enough for that. I heard Dr. Corey Allen, I think is his name. He said this. I want to make sure I give him credit for it because I love it, and I tell this to people all the time. He says to think of marriage like it is the icing on the cake of your life. Okay? Your marriage is the icing on the cake of your life. It's the good stuff. It's not the substance of your life. Your life, your own foundation, is for you and your happiness. If you treat your marriage relationship like the sweet frosting on top of the cake, it's going to be delicious, and you won't take it for granted, right? I don't know about you, but I just want a little bit of cake and a lot of that frosting. The frosting is so good and so sweet. But we can't depend on that for our happiness. We need the foundation. Without the cake, there would be no frosting, right? So we want to make sure that we don't get married and suddenly depend on our husband to make us happy. It's our job to make us happy. And you know what, girls, as moms, especially if you've gotten married and had kids, and you're really in the thick of it now with little kids running around, maybe you're not there anymore, but you're just stuck there. We get into this phase where we think, well, I will be happier when the kids are older. I'll be happier when we have more money. I'll be happier when we move out of this state. I'll be happier when I get a new job. Do you see the problem with that? The problem with that is that we're not living in this moment right here, right now. No matter what stage your kids are in, if they're living in your home, you want to be enjoying them and your husband. But putting our happiness onto another person or off into some distant future is not good for us, nor is it good for our children. What I learned when I went through my marriage crisis is that God does not want us to waste one day of our time being unhappy. Do you get that? He doesn't want us to waste our time there. It's our job to find our inner joy, in our inner happiness. When it really was tough for me was when my kids were about 5 and 2 years old. I found myself sitting, I'll never forget this, it's such a vivid memory. I was sitting on the side of my bathroom tub around 5 o'clock in the morning because I used to get up early, well, I still do, at 5 o'clock. And I would get dressed in my workout clothes, and then I would actually, at that time in my life, leave the house to go work out and then come back and shower all before my husband left for work. And I did that so that I could get my workout in and take care of me in that way. And then I was ready for the day because I also was doing a little bit of work from home and enjoying the kids and having play dates and all of that. So anyway, I think I've digressed a little bit. I'm sitting on the side of my tub at 5 o'clock in the morning, and I felt so sad and lonely and depressed and lost. And I don't know how that could have even been. Well, I didn't know how that could be. And I mean, I was married to my Prince Charming, right? My husband, I was so married to my Prince Charming. We lived in a beautiful home in Florida. We were healthy. I did not have to go to work to help support our budget. It would be nice for me to earn a little money to help us, but, you know, like really I had everything I ever wanted. Someone looking from the inside would have totally thought that, but I wasn't happy. And so I said a prayer. I didn't really even know it would be answered, but I just kind of said, God, I don't think I can do this today. He did answer me. He sent me a life coach who I interviewed for an article that I was writing for a local parenting magazine. And she was a mother just a few years ahead of me on the journey. She helped show me how to find my joy again, how to make my life what I wanted it to be in my motherhood and in my marriage. And I want that for you. I want that for every mom. We're all so busy, whether you've got these little kids at home, toddlers, you know, running around consuming every single bit of you. Or if your kids are in school like me and you're driving them here and there and everywhere and it's so exhausting, and now their activities go 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night when you just want to be resting. It's exhausting. But we don't want to just survive this time. We want to thrive. You know, all those, bless them, those little old ladies in the store, and they come up to you with these babies and they say, oh, this is such a precious time. Enjoy every moment. I remember getting so frustrated with those ladies because I was like, I'm trying to enjoy them. But it's so hard sometimes when you're in it. And I was just lost in that. I was stuck in it. I wasn't really taking care of myself, I guess. I didn't have any direction, really goals, I think. I was working, you know, I was doing freelance public relations from home, and I enjoyed what I did, but it wasn't really soul fulfilling, but I was good at it, and so I thought that's what I should do. So while I was working with my life coach, you know, I just had a wake-up call, and I realized we only get one shot at this life. We're only here one time with our husband, with our kids, and I decided that my motto became make memories out of every day. I wanted every day to make memories, whether it was something fantastic or just something in an ordinary life. But that means being present and living in your moments. You know what, girls? It's a big responsibility, but we have to do this for ourselves and for our husbands and for our children. we set the tone. And you can imagine it from this perspective that I'm about to share with you. When you are feeling happy and relaxed in your life, things smoothly go along. Things, right, are easier and more smooth and not a lot of crises. But when we're stressed and frazzled, when mom is stressed and frazzled, that makes everyone around us stressed and frazzled, and they're like walking on eggshells. I've seen that in my household. Even recently, I just had a crabby day, and like you see the looks on everyone's faces, they're like, "Oh, mom's crabby." When that happens to you, that is a warning sign that you are not taking care of yourself. You have not done enough for yourself. So how do we do that? I hope this first few minutes here has convinced you why it's important for you to take care of yourself. It's for yourself and your children and your husband and your marriage. Because you know what, girls? If you don't have a marriage, everything falls apart for your children if you end up getting divorced. Now, there are ways to obviously make it manageable, but it blows everything up, okay? So we need to really focus on this. But the way to focus on our marriage is by first focusing on taking care of ourselves. We have to look at our physical needs, our emotional needs, our social needs, and our spiritual needs. There's a lot of needs there. And I really have something simple to offer you today with this, something simple to get started. And I would love to work with you more on it. If you're interested, please let me know. But really, the first thing that I want to say is focus on smiling more. Notice you're smiling when you're just out running errands. Just smile. Put a smile on your face when you're in the grocery store. Put a smile on your face when you're driving. Just try to smile. It actually will elevate your mood. It makes you feel happier. It's kind of hard to not be happy when you're smiling. So that's the first thing. And then my homework for you is to get out your pen and paper, because you know life coaches always like to give homework that involves pen and paper. Scientifically proven to help you. I want you to make a list of 20 things that you like to do. That you like to do in the moment when you're doing them. Things like talking on the phone with a friend, going out for coffee with a friend, maybe lighting candles, eating M&Ms. Maybe you like your prayer time. Maybe you like time for journaling. Maybe you like listening to music or singing along or dancing. Maybe you really, really like exercising. I struggle there because I exercise 6 to 7 days a week. I don't necessarily love it when I do it. I love the end result. And so I would not put this necessarily on my prescription list of 20 things that I love to do. I want you to write things down that you do enjoy doing in the moment. You might have to look back into your past, look back when you were a child. What did you like to do? What did you play? I remember we always played Barbies. I played school a lot, played outside a lot. I love being outside in nature. You know, look back at your past and see what you like to do. And then print it out. Print out your list or just post it up. If you wrote it by hand, put it on your refrigerator or on your mirror or make it your wallpaper on your computer, whatever you've got to do. But having this list handy is going to be helpful because I want you to pick between 1 and 3 things off of this list per day to do for you. This is going to increase your joy and increase your happiness. This whole exercise is you taking care of you getting back in touch with you nurturing yourself and loving yourself. And when you do this, you are going to bring more joy and love into your relationship. Because here's what happens, girls. When you are not taking good care of yourself and doing things for you that you love, you start getting resentful of your husband. And you blame him for things that are going wrong, for not helping enough, for not being around enough. And all of that is because you're not taking care of yourself. You're neglecting yourself. But when you start taking care of your own needs, then you are going to be much happier with your husband. Because it's not, these needs, your physical, emotional, social, and spiritual needs are not your husband's. He needs to be taking care of his own needs in that realm. These are your needs, things that you need to take care of. And when you do that, you're going to feel happier, and you're going to start resenting your husband a whole lot less. And your relationship will get a whole lot happier. I want you to take note of that. If you are feeling grumpy, it's a sign that you need to take care of yourself. It's a sign that you need to do something for you. What's this? You're doing laundry and you're totally grumpy? Okay, what can you do instead? The laundry can wait. Could you go phone a friend or light a candle or go out for a walk or go out for a coffee? What can you do to make yourself happy? Or could you put on something you enjoy watching on TV while you're folding the laundry, right? Get out of your routine if it's not making you happy. That's one of the biggest lessons I learned. One of my favorite stories when I was learning this lesson, kids are probably 3 and 6-ish. We were having, I can't remember exactly how this went down, but I was making dinner in the crock pot, and it was not getting done. It was the first time I was making Italian beef or something, and it was not getting done. And my husband and I think we were planning on going out just to grab a glass of wine, and I had a babysitter coming over from 4 to 6 o'clock just to do something different. And so she canceled, and then she rescheduled, and the dinner's not done, and now what am I going to feed the kids? And so all of these things are kind of going wrong in my evening. When you make a crock pot dinner, the whole point of that is to make your evening easier, right? Well, it was all kind of going apart, and I didn't know what I was going to do, but my husband called, and he said, just give the kids some cereal or something, and let's you and I go out to eat. Let the food cook. We'll eat it tomorrow night. And doesn't it sound so simple, girls? It sounds so simple. But it had such a profound impact on me because, no, the kids don't have to have a perfectly made home-cooked meal every night. They can have breakfast for dinner. And then we went out. We made it a special night. It was during the week. It was probably a Monday night. And that just made it, I remember this today. This was probably 10 years ago or something, 8 years ago. And I still remember it. It had that much of an impact on me because the daily routine at that moment was not working. Everything was going south. So instead of focusing on it and being miserable and being upset because I couldn't manage to cook the dinner on time, my husband had the great idea to create something different out of it, and we made a memorable night from it. I want that for you too. I think we just get so mired in the muck sometimes of trying to do everything perfect and be perfect, and that doesn't make for happiness. It doesn't make for happiness. And so we need to work on that and show this to our kids, right? Because we want our kids to have a happy, joyful life. So this is something that takes practice and takes time, and it is where we start. When I work with my clients on their marriage, it's where we start because most often if you are sitting there with a lot of resentment toward your husband, it's all built up inside of you because you're not taking care of yourself and you're expecting someone else to do it for you. But when we start taking care of it, although it might seem like a burden at first, it's something that gives you more energy and more joy and more patience and more love and more kindness and more compassion. And isn't that what we want? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So I want you to work on this. And let me know how it goes. Let me know if you need help, if you have questions along the way. I'm here to help you. So this is the end of my formal part of this little pep talk here on taking care of you. remember, please, that if you need some help working on your marriage, I've created that free mini marriage makeover. It'll help you fix challenges in your marriage one by one. Just head on over to my website, tinaheisman.com, to download your copy for free and request membership in the Happy Wives community, where we are being very positive about our marriages. And, of course, I offer one-on-one marriage coaching for women only. So be personalized, customized coaching just for you in your marriage. Awesome. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me today. It has been such an uplifting call to share with you how to take care of yourself. Have an awesome day.